How painful is facial feminization surgery? There are a lot of factors that affect pain after surgery. The first is what is getting done and how it's done. If facial feminization surgery only involves removing a little fat from the neck, it's a small procedure, a liposuction, or a direct excision of fat, that might not be so painful. However, if we're doing lots of things, we're contouring the bone, taking some of the bone off of the forehead, contouring it, putting it back on, plating it, shortening the forehead with a bigger incision, doing eyelid surgery, changing the bone of the lower jaw, doing nasal surgery, and often we do all of these in one operative setting. That may create more pain, more scarring, more swelling, more bruising. I like to look at what the patient wants to achieve and then what I'm going to do, and then I try to predict for the patient what the pain level is going to be. Of course, there's a variation based on that individual's patient's ability to deal with their pain. What is done in facial feminization surgery? This is a very broad question that involves many potential procedures. It could involve just narrowing and making smaller the nose. It could involve making the chin smaller, making the chin narrower, making the lateral jaw narrower or wider. It could involve surgery which changes the contour of the forehead, lifts the eyebrow, and also if the patient desiring facial gender reassignment surgery has more age, we may even be doing a facelift with that. So there are a variety of things. And what gets done to that individual patient really is based on an in-depth and individualized consultation, which fits what I do with what that individual wants and wants to tolerate. Is facial feminization surgery worth it? I think for most of the patients that I do this to, it is very worth it because they want the product of what I'm going to do. Whether anything is worth it, an expensive coat, a nose job, a facelift, or a variety of surgeries designed to change an individual's sexual orientation in their face, is that worth it to them? It's up to the individual. So it may not be something that I can put a worth on, or maybe even you can put a worth on, but that individual patient can certainly value that. It is clear that most people that come to me that desire facial feminization surgery are very satisfied with it because they want it. And if I'm able to listen to them and communicate to them what they're going to get, that makes them very satisfied with the end product. When I have a patient who isn't satisfied with anything that I do, it's because their thinking, their expectation is something that the surgery is not going to produce. In order to minimize the chance of dissatisfaction, it requires communication. They've got to communicate what they want to achieve, and I've got to be the person that tells the individual, can we achieve it? If we get that kind of communication, the satisfaction rate is very high, and that translates to this being worth it to that individual patient. How expensive is facial feminization surgery? It really depends on how much gets done. If I'm doing just a little surgery, taking a little fat out of the neck, or putting a little chin implant in, or just reducing the chin, it might have a relatively low price tag, and that would contrast with somebody who's having 7 or 8 procedures all at once. So the range could be anything from $3,000 or $4,000 if I'm just doing a very small procedure, to $30,000, $40,000 or $50,000 if I'm doing many things and I'm doing them all at once. That's sort of a broad question as to say, how expensive is it? So facial feminization surgery involves the potential of many different surgical procedures. And the important thing is a well-communicated consultation discussing all the possibilities. If we do that, we're likely to get satisfaction, and we're likely to have a surgery that is really worth it for most patients. Call or email me anytime. I love doing all the procedures related to facial gender reassignment. I'd love to hear from you. I look forward to seeing you in my office. Thanks so much for watching.